Hello everyone and welcome back to the AI Research Roundup. I'm your host Alex, and today we're diving into some interesting work on evaluating AI models. Specifically, we'll be looking at a paper called xVerify, Efficient Answer Verifier for Reasoning Model Evaluations. So you know how newer AI models, especially those using reasoning, can generate really long and complex answers with lots of steps? Well, this paper points out that it's actually pretty tough to automatically check if the final answer in all that text is, well, correct, or equivalent to the expected answer. So the researchers propose xVerify, an efficient tool designed specifically to verify these complex answers. Okay, so Figure 1 here actually gives a nice overview of how the researchers developed and tested xVerify. It shows a three-stage framework. First, they collected a whole load of responses from various large language models across different types of reasoning benchmarks. Math, multiple choice, that sort of thing. Then, the second stage, they constructed this VAR dataset. VAR stands for Verify Answer for Reasoning, basically using GPT-4o and human review to label the collected answers correctly. And finally, the third stage. This is the xVerify pipeline itself, where it takes those long, complex reasoning responses, evaluates them, and as you can see, it achieves really high accuracy, over 95%, much better than the other judge models or evaluation frameworks shown. Building on that VAR dataset construction we just talked about, Figure 2 actually shows some specific techniques they use to make the data even better. They call it data augmentation. So for multiple choice questions, you can see they added noise, like extra options, or changed how options were labeled, like using Roman numerals instead of letters. For math answers, they generated different but equivalent ways of writing the same answer. And, well, for the final answer sentences, they varied the phrasing, adding symbols or different ways to box the final number. This helps make xVerify really robust. Okay, so Table 1 here really shows the payoff from building that VAR dataset and training xVerify. This table compares xVerify against other evaluation frameworks and judge models using that test set we discussed. You can see the F1 scores and accuracy across different question types. The main takeaway, well, look at the overall scores on the right. The xVerify models, even the smaller ones, are consistently hitting over 95% F1 and accuracy. That's much better than the other evaluation frameworks, which are mostly below 80%, and also generally better than the other judge models, even outperforming GPT-4o in some cases. It really shows xVerify works well for verifying these complex answers. Now, moving on from the test set results in Table 1, Table 2 here shows how these models perform on the VAR generalization set. This set is designed to be a bit more diverse and different from the training data, so it's a tougher test. And, well, the results are pretty interesting. You can see the xVerify models still achieve over 95% overall accuracy and F1 score, although there's a slight drop compared to the test set. But look at the other methods. The evaluation frameworks are still struggling, below 80% overall. And the judge models, especially on math questions, really take a performance hit here, many falling below 75% F1. It really shows xVerify generalizes much better. Okay, so having looked at the main performance results on both the test and generalization sets, this next image isn't actually another results table. It's the table of contents for the paper's appendices. So, if you want to dig deeper into things like the specific datasets and models used, more details on the VAR dataset construction we talked about, or even the exact prompts they used, well, this is where you'd find all that extra information, including more on the computational efficiency and costs we briefly touched on. It provides all the supporting details for the findings we've discussed. Right, so moving on from the appendices overview, Table 3 here gives us a closer look at the actual datasets that were used to build that VAR dataset we talked about earlier. You can see it lists a whole bunch of them, like MMLU, GSM8K, and others. It shows the type of questions in each, like multiple choice, math, short answer, and classification, along with the number of training and testing samples, the language, mostly English and Chinese, and even the license. This variety is really key. It's what helps ensure xVerify is trained and tested on a wide range of reasoning problems. Okay, so after looking at the diverse datasets used in Table 3, Table 4 here gives us a description of the actual large language models that were involved. Remember how we said the VAR dataset was built using responses from many different models? Well, this table lists 19 of them, showing things like their size and parameters, their type, like chat or instruction tuned, who published them, and when they came out. You can see a real mix here. Models from OpenAI, Google, Meta, Alibaba, ranging from, well, 1 billion up to 32 billion parameters. This variety helps ensure the evaluation is comprehensive. Okay, so having seen the range of models used to build and test xVerify, it really brings our discussion full circle. The big takeaway here is how xVerify provides a much more efficient and lightweight method for evaluating the reasoning abilities of these large models, moving beyond just relying on majority voting. Well, developing reliable and scalable evaluation tools like this is crucial for the entire field, helping us better understand and improve AI systems. Thanks for joining me on this AI Research Roundup. I'm your host, Alex.